We're here to try the best and worst Harry Potter snacks in the Wizarding World.
Hey there, MamFam. We are here at Universal Orlando to try the best and worst snacks and drinks at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. How do we pick them? Well, we asked you, and you decided.
That's right. We sent out polls to the MamFam on Discord and Patreon and asked them to vote for the best and worst snacks and drinks around the Wizarding World. So today we are going to be eating 8 different snacks, providing our reviews, and then letting you know how those ranked amongst your votes.
Ooh, a mystery is the foot.
Along the way, we'll provide some tips and tricks and recommendations for your eats and drinks in Wizarding World. But come on, it is balmy and I could use something frozen. We are starting off our adventure here in Hogsmeade. This is the original portion of Wizarding World of Harry Potter here at Universal. This is in the Islands of Adventure Park. This is where you've got Hogwarts and Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey inside, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, the 3 Broomsticks, Honeydukes, and more. Now, most of the snacks we're going to be talking about today can be found in both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, but we'll make sure to point out if it's exclusive one side or the other. And we're going to kick this bad boy off with the most iconic snack in the Wizarding World. Here we are, friends, our first 2 drinks of the day, the famous, the iconic, the notorious Butterbeer. Now, when we sent out the survey asking for the best drink in Wizarding World, we did break up Butterbeer into the different varieties, and 2 different Butterbeer varieties got enough votes to be on the podium. Which podium, where they rank, TBD, but we have a frozen Butterbeer right here and a classic liquid Butterbeer right here. Now, and as a pro tip, there are 2 Butterbeer carts here in Hogsmeade. They tend to get very long lines, and you can pick up your frozen and regular Butterbeers there. But you can also go to the Hogshead Bar, which is attached to the 3 Broomsticks. You can get a variety of beverages there, including pumpkin juice and the exclusive Harry Potter beers. But you can also get Butterbeer, and not a lot of people know that. And you can wait a lot less time and inside in the air conditioning. All right, Alan, you more of a frozen or a classic kind of guy?
Doing a frozen today.
All right, it is balmy.
Yes.
Are you ready? Cheers. Oh, you're not getting a stash.
It took so much effort to get it out of the... hold on.
I thought we would have stashes. Nice. Yours is a little more this way. Don't say it.
Doesn't look great.
Butterbeer is so good. It goes against everything I stand for, which is not liking things that are sickly sweet. But I can't help it. It's so delicious.
You know, normally I'm not a frozen Butterbeer guy.
Right now?
Yeah, that also hits too. I don't know, where do these sit?
Ooh, it has been so long since I've had a frozen. It hits so well. It's 95 degrees today, and that tastes so delicious.
Hold on, 91.
91. Oh, see, I'm sure real feels like 10,000 though. Butterbeer is delicious. It is butterscotch flavored, and then the topping is like marshmallow vanilla cupcake. So it is incredibly, incredibly sweet no matter which variety you get. I do think the liquid is slightly less sweet than the frozen.
I would agree.
And then there's also a drinkable hot version, which I think is actually the sweetest of them all.
The hot version is something that I personally can't really do. These 2, they're sweet, but I can enjoy them.
The hot's actually my favorite, even though, again, it's not what I normally go for. But I believe they were drinking hot a lot of the times in the story, and when it actually gets cool enough here to enjoy the hot, perhaps during Halloween Horror Nights or the Christmas season when it's all decorated around here.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
The hot just hits. But yeah, Butterbeer, obviously a must-try in some variety, but where does it land?
It's a good question. Where does it land?
Let me get my notes. Now, Alan, I'm going to tell you this. These are your top 2 drinks, according to the MamFam.
Okay, that makes sense.
But which one do you think is number 1?
I'm going to go, knowing the MamFam, I'm going to go frozen.
The frozen is, according to the MamFam, the best drink in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Nailed it.
Capturing 34.5% of the votes. For the record, 3.3% of people said this is the worst drink in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Are y'all good? Is everything okay?
Now, classic Butterbeer with 26.8% of the votes. And I should know that 4.8% of people said it's the worst. I also want to give out an honorable mention. Hot Butterbeer came in 3rd with 17.3% of the votes. And Signature Wizarding World Beer, number 4 at 8.6 of the votes. I didn't split those up, I just kept it as all the Wizarding World beers. Those came in at 8.6.
kind of bummed they didn't win. But you know what? I'll take a frozen butterbeer.
I think if you're going to consume one thing in the Wizarding World, it's butterbeer.
True.
And there's like 7 different varieties, not just drinks. There's food too. I did a whole trying every butterbeer video you can watch. We also, speaking of the beers, did a video where we tried all of the exclusive beers in Universal, where you can see all of those. But starting off strong with the butterbeer.
Up next, we are headed into Honeydukes to pick up the first 2 treats on our list. Now, there is another sweet shop in Diagon Alley that is Sugar Plums, but Honeydukes is just far more iconic. Here inside of Honeydukes Sweet Shop, you have a number of iconic treats from the Harry Potter franchise, ranging from chocolate frogs to Tongue Toffee, exploding bonbons, fizzing Whizbees, and Bertie Bott's every flavored beans. But you also have a case that contains fudges, the iconic pumpkin pasties, caramels, chocolate caramel apples, and one of the next iconic treats we're gonna nab. All right, Molly is showcasing one of the 2 items that we wanted to pick up from Honeydukes. Unfortunately, Honeydukes is sold out of the other item, but they called over to Sugar Plums and they actually have it. So we're gonna go there now, but Molly, showcase what we've got now.
This is a chocolate frog. I would say probably the most famous of all the Wizarding World candies. Like in the books, you hear a lot about chocolate frogs.
I think that's fair.
And they actually have dark chocolate frogs as well, but this is the classic milk chocolate. And just like in the stories, it comes with a card inside.
It's the card you want.
So as you can see, it's literally just a giant chunk of solid milk chocolate with a card. And we have gotten Artemisia Lufkin.
Oh.
She was the first witch to become Minister of Magic. Love that.
This really is just a big old hunk of chocolate, isn't it? I mean, it's good chocolate. If you are a milk chocolate fan, this is right up your alley. If you're a dark chocolate fan, which is what I am, I imagine that the dark chocolate frog would be right up yours. Not really much else to say. Where did it rank?
I'm so glad you asked, Alan. The chocolate frog ranked as the second worst snack in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, with a 13.5% vote. I should note that 1.8% of the MamFam said it's the best.
I can see why it would be rated that lowly. I mean, it really is at a certain point just a big hunk of chocolate in a very cool wrapper. It's iconic to the story, but it's not anything that's like super unique.
For me, I think much like Ron says, the appeal is the cards. Yeah. You can collect the cards. They bring out new cards every year. I think it's a good take-home because you can take home the cards, you can take home the box, you can take home the chocolate frog. It comes wrapped up. So I think that it's more of a good souvenir than it is a good treat.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm surprised it ranked on the worst list. I think it's kind of neutral for me.
It's a $14 piece of chocolate. And there are other more unique things that you could try around the Wizarding World, either here in Hogsmeade or over in Diagon Alley. So I get it.
Shall we go to Diagon Alley?
Oh yes, let's.
Flute powder. Welcome, MamFam.
To Jurassic Park.
The most glorious theme park land of all the lands, in my opinion. And we are headed, by way of quality Quidditch supplies, into Sugar Plums, which, as Alan said already, is the candy shop on this side of Wizarding World. It has a lot of the same items, but it is smaller, so it doesn't have quite the same selection. But we're hoping that even though their bakery case is smaller, they still do have some ginger Noots, and it wasn't sold out from under us while we made our way over here. Target acquired. Our second treat has been acquired. This is the ginger Noot out of the bakery case. It is I lost his foot while shooting the B-roll, but I'm about to decapitate him, so it is what it is. This is a very thin ginger cookie. Think like a ginger snap or a ginger molasses cookie with like a light glaze on it, and it's shaped like a little newt.
Wow, we look great.
It's busy here. We're trying to stay out of the way. Now, I think this is delicious.
I agree. I like it a lot. I'm hoping it like clocks in the top tier.
Got a little bit of spice. Like think like either autumnal or Christmas. I guess it's
Ginger forward, a little bit of nutmeg,
molasses. It's soft. It's definitely a sweet treat, but it's not too sweet.
I like it. This is right up my alley.
This is the worst snack in the Wizarding World, according to the MamFam. Shade.
All right, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Perhaps you're forgetting the most wonderful scene in the book where Minerva McGonagall gives Harry Potter. Have a biscuit Potter. That's Ginger Noots after he sasses at Umbridge and gets kicked out of her class. Maybe I'm biased to it from that, but I don't think so. I think it's genuinely a delicious
I like it.
treat. And 16% of the MamFam said this is the worst snack in the wizarding world. I will give credit where credit's due. 4.3% of you said this is the best snack in the wizarding world. And I don't know if it's my number one, but it definitely clocks in my top 3.
Yeah, definitely in my top 3.
Now that we've had both of the worst snacks, the Ginger Newt and the Chocolate Frog, I do want to read the honorable mentions. Number 3 was the Cauldron Cake at 12.5%. I do agree with the Cauldron Cake being on the list. That's one of my least favorite snacks here. It's a chocolate cake that's more frosting than it is cake. It does come in like a little rubber cauldron you get to keep, but for me, it's way too sugary, sickly sweet. And then interestingly, I don't know how you feel about this, the 4th worst on the poll was other candy from the candy shops, such as Fizzing Whizbees, Birdied Bots, and Exploding Bot Bots. That had Cauldron Cakes at 12.5%, the candy at a 12.2%. I will say, the worst food was the most evenly split of any of the categories. There was no runaway victory.
I certainly think it's interesting that the candy rated that low, although it makes sense, right? 1, it's really wide and varied. 2, it's candy. And in a world where you have a delicious variety of treats.
Like ice creams and fish and chips and jacket potatoes and like...
It makes sense that candy wouldn't rate as high. I also view that as something that you like buy and take home to have later or to give to somebody as a gift, more so than something I'm going to snack on in the park.
The thing I think is the actual worst snack in the wizarding world, no melt ice cream. You can find it in the bakery cases in different flavors, and it is literally just a cup of cloyingly sweet sugar frosting. It is incredibly expensive for what it is, and it's just a cup of frosting. Yeah. So to me, that should take the worst snack crap.
I could not agree more.
But we still have the best snacks and the worst drinks left, so let's get to those.
Okay, next up we are going to pop on over to the hopping pot for our next beverage to pick up. Now, here you can get all of the different types of butterbeer. Also, it should be noted here, there is a vegan butterbeer if you do so wish to grab that for all of our vegan friends out there, as well as some of the other specialty beverages located at the Wizarding World. And those include not only classics like butterbeer, but the tongue-tying lemon squash and the orange fizz. Okay, we went ahead and picked up both of our next 2 beverages, and I'll be honest with you, Molly, even if I didn't know where these ranked, I think I had a pretty solid assumption that these are probably going to be the bottom 2. We have pumpkin juice and fishy green ale, which, you know, as a name, boy, does that just ring all the bells.
Yeah, it does. Now, I know you've tried fishy green ale. We tried it here together. You had your first time trying it not too long ago. Have you had pumpkin juice? You didn't like it when I made you try the pumpkin fizz, so why don't you review that one?
Gee, thanks. You're so generous. It's so thick.
I like it.
More for you.
I'm a pumpkin girly. It's not surprising. But yeah, it is thick. It's definitely sweet. This is why I like the pumpkin fizz better, because the carbonation, I think, breaks up the thick juice. And I think it's a little bit lighter in flavor. I'm not actually really a juice drinker. I can't help but think, they now serve mimosas at Hogshead. Like, what could happen? What could happen with this information?
So many popping bobas.
What's that?
This is the fishy green ale. This was described to us as a green tea and cinnamon flavored beverage with blueberry popping pearls. And yet somehow it tastes like mint. Like toothpaste mint. Yeah, blueberry. I gotta be honest though, I'll take the fishy green ale over pumpkin juice any day of the week.
I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good.
Yeah, this is below average. That's a C- right there.
If I'm drinking a specialty beverage in the Wizarding World that's not beer or butterbeer, I'm drinking the tongue-tying lemon squash, because it's like the best county fair lemonade you'll ever have, or I genuinely like the pumpkin fizz. I'm not mad about this one either, but I just would pick pumpkin fizz.
So, was I right? Are these the worst two?
These are the worst two, but which one's number one worst and number two worst?
Number one worst, number two worst.
According to the data, which I have obtained from the MamFam, the Fishy Green Ale was voted as the worst drink by 36.2%. It was a big lead.
Someone call that a landslide.
There was 0.3% of people that said it's the best. So you know what? You like what you like.
More for you.
The pumpkin juice had 19.3% of people say it's the worst, and 3.8% of people say it's the best. Couple of honorable mentions. The non-alcoholic fizzes, those would be the orange and the pumpkin fizzes, which are like juice that's carbonated. They're definitely stronger than like LaCroix sparkling water. I personally like both of those. Number 4 was Fire Whiskey with 10.6% of the votes, which it's just Fireball basically. So I could see where it's like, yeah, this is nice, but nothing that special. But yeah, what do you think's the worst drink in the Wizarding World?
That.
Oh, I also want to note the Fishy Green Ale only available here in Diagon Alley. That's not a delicacy you can enjoy over in Hogsmeade. Now, we only have 2 things left on our list today, and by process of elimination, you know that they are just the 2 highest rated snacks, the best 2 eats in Wizarding World. And we're headed inside the Leaky Cauldron to get the first one. Now, the Leaky Cauldron is a kind of hybrid quick service sit-down restaurant because you are going to order at a counter or through mobile order, and then they're going to bring the food to you. The Leaky Cauldron has some items that are the same as the Three Broomsticks, which is the counter service restaurant over in Hogsmeade, such as fish and chips. They also have a lot of the drinks in here. So you're going to have your different Butterbeers, you're going to have your different signature beers, and a couple of the others like pumpkin juice. But where the Three Broomsticks focuses on like the great feast like you might have at Hogwarts, so like ribs and smoked chicken and sausages, here you're going to have more traditional British fare. So you're going to have cottage pie, shepherd's pie, bangers and mash, toad and hole, that sort of thing. And here it is, probably not surprising, the fish and chips has made the metal podium. Now this is the adult portion of fish and chips, so you can see it comes with 3 pieces of fish, chips, which are potato wedges here in the United States, fresh lemon, and house-made tartar sauce. We're sharing this, but when I'm by myself, I usually get the kids' fish and chips as a pro tip. It's a lot cheaper. It's like $8 and some change. You get the chips, a piece of fish, and you get some grapes, and it's like the perfect snack. So, little pro tip there, but I love, oh yes, thank you. Can't go wrong with that. I love that it's fresh lemon, because that makes it so much better. And I've spoken with the culinary team. This is never frozen. So much malt vinegar. I'm just gonna look at that flaky, delicious, hot fish on a summer's day. It's so good. The fish itself is nice and light. I'm one of those people that's like, I don't like when seafood's too fishy, because that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. The nice light breading on there, mild fish. I adore the fact that it's fresh lemon to squeeze on there and the house-made tartar sauce. That makes all the difference in the world to me. They're better than Epcot's. I've said what I said. A top-tier snack.
And for our final location of the day, we are headed to Florians Ice Cream Parlor to pick up some delicious ice cream treats. Inside, you'll have Harry's favorite flavors, strawberry and peanut butter, but they also have other flavors like Earl Grey and lavender or chocolate chili. They even have Butterbeer. Now, I think I know what Molly's going to get, but I'm going to try something new. We have picked up our ice cream. Molly, what is your flavors?
Obviously, I got strawberry peanut butter. It's my number 1 favorite flavor. I basically get it every time. And then I got the apple crumble on the bottom because you get 2 flavors and you said you wanted to try it.
Nice of you. I've got napkins. You want one?
It's
melting so fast. Now. And for me, on the top, I got Earl Grey and lavender. And on the bottom, I got salted caramel blondie.
How is it?
Well, the blondie's really, really tasty. The Earl Grey and lavender, that might just be one of the favorite things I've ever tasted.
Ooh, it's very floral and refreshing somehow, even though it's dairy.
That Earl Grey shines through beautifully, and then it ends with a little bit of a lavender. Oh my gosh, I love that. How's yours?
Well, talk to me about the blondie first.
Oh, chunks of blondie in there, lightly sweet. Honestly, having both of these together, tastes like I have dipped a blondie into Earl Grey tea, and I'm a fan.
The apple crumble definitely tastes like apple, but not in an artificial way. It kind of tastes like apple pie because there's some cinnamon notes in there and nutmeg and other autumnal flavors, so I really enjoyed it as an apple fan. But my number one favorite for all time is strawberry peanut butter, and that's not just because it's Harry's favorite flavor. I love peanut butter, and strawberries are one of my favorite fruits, and it basically tastes like a delicious PB&J in ice cream form. That ice cream is truly so good. It's like amongst the best ice cream I've ever had in my life.
That's up there.
It's so good. Now, Alan, what do you think came out on top, the fish and chips or the ice cream?
I'm gonna say ice cream.
You are correct. In a very big win, with 44.1% of the vote, Florian Fortescue's ice cream was the best Wizarding World snack according to the MamFam. 0.2% of people said it's the worst. And then fish and chips again, number 2 with 22.7% of the vote. 2.7% of people said it's the worst. Also got to shout out our honorable mentions in third place with 8.6% of the vote. That's a huge swing from number 1 at 44. The jacket potatoes.
Oh.
And number 4, again, huge swing here. 4.9% of people said the pumpkin pasty.
Oh.
Alan, do you agree with the MamFam that Florian Fortescue's ice cream is the best food in the Wizarding World? Remember, we counted Butterbeer as a drink, so don't think about Butterbeer right now.
I do. I think Florian Fortescue's is really, really good, very unique, and certainly entrenched into not movie Harry Potter, but book Harry Potter lore, and that to me adds a little bit something extra. Yeah, I agree.
And then I also want to know, what didn't make the podium that would make your podium? What would you vote as your top things that you didn't see today?
I think for me, it has to be the unique Wizarding World brews, the beers that are made for this. There are 5 unique beers that are made just for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter between both parks. Even if you're not a beer drinker, that's got to be cool. If you are a beer drinker, it's certainly worth trying. There are 5 different varieties. There's something for everybody. I just think that's really neat to have something made specifically for this space.
I have to agree. I love the exclusive beers. I even love the secret combinations that you can make with the different beers. But in the interest of being different, I do love pumpkin pasties. I do love the shepherd's pie jacket potato when it's a little bit cooler out. But something that didn't get mentioned at all is the pumpkin cake that's in the bakery case. As a lover of pumpkin, it's like a really nice moist pumpkin bread almost with some icing, but it's not too much icing. And so I think that's probably one of my other favorite baked goods that didn't get mentioned at all throughout this adventure today.
With all that being said, let us know what you think the best and worst snack and drink is in the Wizarding World and what you'd like to vote on and rank for us in the future. But until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, follow us on all of our socials, and if you would like to join with the MamFam in the conversation about this or any other video, please join us on Discord. We would love to have you. Links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been magically delicious.
That's Lucky Charms.
I'm taking it. You don't think that the leprechaun from Lucky Charms would be in the Harry Potter universe? You're telling me you don't think he's at the Quidditch World Cup? He's definitely there voting for Ireland.
He's for Ireland!
He's cheering for Ireland. It's canon.
He's bringing the rainbow that only the Irish Quidditch players can taste.
Oh my god, do you think they eat Lucky Charms?
No.
And that's why they're so good? That's why their chasers are so good?
Okay.
You know, wizards could figure out how to have just marshmallows.
Now that is true.
Yeah.